Hey guys, we'll get started in just a moment or two. I had to readjust my mic, so now I'm unmuting Dev and AR, and let's see if they actually come through if I have to adjust them.
Okay,
I
let's see.
picked the right thing for them. I saw the bar
Hooray!
move. Hooray.
Yeah, maybe might be able to at least stop by and at least we can say hi and meet each other. I can't guarantee
To be
more than
fair,
that,
to be
but
fair, Dev has told me multiple times she's going to make a with the will hoodie and just hiss at people.
Yes.
who's PMing me?
No one that we care about.
He's gonna
No,
say it's family or something.
no, it's someone randomly asking me a question about the convention I'm not staffing next week.
That's fantastic. Let's
I
see
don't
here.
know who that is. I'm gonna disregard you for now.
Let's see. We will give them a chance in the chat to make sure they
Like
can, in fact, hear you guys.
someone's asking me if the con I'm doing in February is gonna have Itasha cars. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, I love when I get the random questions. It's like, I don't, and like, I'll be like, that has nothing to do with me. Well, do you know? I,
I don't think it has anything to do with me. I'd have to check actually. I think that's a different department.
uh,
I hope it's a different department because I don't want to have to deal with that.
okay. Okay, well, I can see you guys on the bar, so they should be able to hear you. You guys ready to go?
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Welcome to the With the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark who Run with the Will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, and I want to try Tanemon's meat.
I'm DevQ, and I have nothing to say to that.
I feel like Dev was coming up with one, and the instant AR said that, Dev just went, nope, nope.
I kept it relevant to the material, too.
To be fair, you could have just talked a lot of nonsense, and then we could have said it's relevant to Seekers.
My intellectual capacity is too high to make a Seekers
How
reference.
has the past
Speaking of
few...
Seekers, I'm still trying to read through the end of 2-4. Just like, what the fuck is this?
So we'll get into that. First, how has the last few weeks been for everyone?
I'm in the middle of pre-con prep hell, so
I'm
it's been fine.
tired for, let's see, doing normal work, doing some degree of convention prep and the clues on the Discotek Twitter and other Discotek accounts now.
I
Prepping.
did a bunch of inventory at work and
Oh, is
also
that when
fixing a
you
collapsed ceiling.
is that when you messaged me in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 nights ago, saying you wanted to jump through something? I don't remember what you actually said. Jump through a window?
I don't remember, but that does sound like something I would say.
Okay. Well, good
Doesn't
luck.
at some points while doing inventory.
Yeah, I remember doing inventory, and that sounds really correct.
It's inventory for one fewer window.
No, because then they will order windows, which may not come single, so then you may have to inventory the windows.
Defenestrate all of them.
And now it's weird. It's weird weather everywhere. It's gotten, like, it's jumping between wildly hot and weirdly cold out here.
It's torrential heat and torrential downpours, and then there was a tornado warning in the middle of that.
Ooh. We've
Yeah.
had a little bit
It was
of...
raining so hard, water was shooting up out of the storm drains.
Oh, God.
And then
Ooh.
people still showed up to a craft store during a monsoon.
That's okay. And now I am in the last year of my 30s.
I'd say enjoy it, but it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose we should.
Crossroads
I
capitalism.
suppose we should talk about Seekers.
Do we
Yeah, I
have to?
guess.
It's funny. Like, we talked about how much longer we think 2020 could go on, how much longer we think Ghost Game could go on, but we did functionally always watch it. And even if it was right before the show, it never felt like too much of a drag to watch it. Seekers feels like it's like Chapter 2-1 felt like it was like a height, and it feels like it's cratered now.
Oh, this was bad.
2-3 was
2-3.
god fucking awful.
3 was really bad.
See, I felt.
I saw
Here's the.
Lugamon's name spelled ways.
I'm doing my best to defend Seekers.
You know what the worst thing is?
2-3
You know what the worst
just...
thing is? The translation's gotten like 100 times better. Even the standard translation on the site.
That's the worst part. You can't even blame the translation for this. This is just bad writing.
It was so much bad exposition, and the problem is not even the exposition. Then they stop and like, oh, we have to explain Digicoin and how Grim works, and we're gonna have an evil nation, but we're not gonna give it a name, so it's just called X.
And the worst part is that this is written. The exposition is so thorough that you can tell this feels like it was written by a 16-year-old who occasionally skims Wired.com articles.
It is someone who once read Ready Player One and Sword Art Online.
Oh, I don't even give him that much credit. Like, it's somebody who has vaguely heard of concepts like cryptocurrency and cyber terrorism and wants to be cool and incorporate that in their stories.
See, now I need to find what I wrote for 2-3 because it's making me flash back to what I wrote.
I just read 2-3, and I can. It's such
bullshit.
Okay, here's
just a slog.
Here's the first line of what I wrote about 2-3. The exposition feels like a negative combination of Ready Player One trying a bit too hard, and then I put X in parentheses and Sword Art Online.
X gonna give it to you.
It desperately is trying to understand. It's someone writing cyberpunk who does not get it, but like they saw the trailer for the Cyberpunk game and like, okay, I could figure this out.
It's not even like cyberpunk.
No,
It's
it's
taking it's taking concepts that are currently very relevant and trying to pretend that he has a grasp on them when, because of the exposition is so thorough, it's clear that he does not.
and here's the part that scares me the most, and we alluded to this a minute ago. Is the story getting worse, or is that the translation, now that it's getting better, and that, because generally reading it when it first pops up means you're reading this, you're not reading what Onke has revised.
I haven't read Onk in a long time.
No,
I'm not
yeah,
even I don't even know if it's the
It wasn't
story.
up, so it's like,
no,
oh
I don't
no,
even
I
well,
have to suffer.
I don't even know if it's the story getting worse because,
no,
like,
but I no
if
no
you
no,
take the
but I'm
concept,
saying it feels like it's getting worse. Is it just that since the translation is better now, we can't like give it slack because maybe we're not getting something?
the
I don't think the
translation
translation is better at all at this point.
I
translation
think it is.
the improvement of the translation is exposing how poor the actual writing is.
Yes.
That's what's
Yeah.
going on here.
So
And the thing is if you take a look at what's actually happening in the story, it's like AG has infiltrated his way into a
how
group
does he get
of
worse?
crackers, and they're going in on this hot mission, and they're going in on this big mission to take down this evil
But
country.
oh
That sounds awesome, and they make it read like crap.
no, it reads boring, and they also don't explain stuff like, for example, only 2 people are actually being sent in for the mission, if I understand it correctly. Marvin
I
and
no
AG.
no no. I got the idea that there's like 8 of them, and that Marvin and AG for some reason are the guys taking
No,
point.
that's what I mean.
They're in
Like
teams
the
of
other,
two.
Like there
the
are
others,
multiple
like the other 6 are doing side stuff
but
and
but
distracting
why
the
is the
guards.
kid so clueless that they were laughing at him at the meeting? It's like they've decided to just keep writing as if everyone thinks AG's great, and he just like doesn't, like he's a savant almost. Like other characters think that he's a savant, even though he really
And
doesn't know what's going on.
I
And
think
and the
I
first
think
time
the
anyone
angle
questions him is Marvin.
Yeah, I think the angle they're going for is that everyone knows that he's some super noob that has some incredible natural abilities, but he has absolutely no idea what is actually going on. He just has skills that they recognize, and they're just making fun of him because he's so damn naive about literally everything. It comes
He's just
off
a
as,
loose cannon that you're just like,
Also,
okay, maybe we can just like
yeah,
point him at something and hope for the best.
basically.
also,
That's
and oddly,
that's the most forgiving read I can give it.
it feels very strange to be jumping to Mugen Dramon already. Like just out of the blue, like we have to deal with Mugen Dramon, and over here is the champion. Like, are they gonna have Fenra like show up once and then not show up for a few chapters? That'd be fine, but it just
You can get away with that.
you
If
absolutely can't. This is
can,
a matter of
you absolutely
how
can get away with that. I'm just not convinced they're gonna.
I was also
I'm
very annoyed by the constantly going by back and forth between like first person and third. Like, who the fuck is
Not
talking?
only first person and third
and
person, but
narration.
also and narration and narrative changes. They're also jumping back and forth between present and past. That's
Yeah.
also really aggravating. It feels like he's writing very stream of consciousness. Like, oh, there's this part we have to backfill into to try to explain what's going on. He's just jumping back and forth to
Yeah,
try to
that
edit instead of like editing to have some sort of
that is
coherence.
probably what annoys me the most is the story wants to jump to do things, but it hasn't explained necessary stuff, so they will start something and then immediately stop, and you just get paragraphs of exposition broken up with occasionally jumping back so someone can talk.
Again, it feels like it's kind of written for TV and not realizing.
See, it doesn't feel like it's written for TV.
Well,
It feels like it's written as you're supposed to sit down with a book for 2 hours, speed through it, and then judge it all as one glob of stuff.
what I mean is that the scene transitions, like the going back and forth and
Mm,
and
that
and
feels
having
very
scenes like that.
that feels
That
very light
the
novelty to me. It just isn't done
well,
well here, I don't think.
yeah, well, it's just the bouncing back and forth with the scenes is feels very TV-ish, but because they don't have any visual descriptors to rely on, they feel like they need to include loads and loads of other exposition to try to fill you in on it, and it's just weighing it down so heavily.
I guess. I see. I still don't
It's
quite know what to make of the story because it feels like it still hasn't clarified for us what it is.
That's the sad part, is that I feel like if I take everything just the story for what it is without taking a look at how anything is composed, the story itself is fine.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just way
the
it's just way
yeah,
too
yeah, yes.
long, cluttered, and AG's
The
and
if you break it
just
down to the
dumb.
A, B, C, D, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's not great. It's not terrible. But the actual way it's
Yeah, the
put
exec
together to read, it's not
yeah,
good.
it's awful. Yeah. That's
It's
Um,
that's
unpleasant.
I will say this: it is smoother when it's not so desperate to stop at whatever arbitrary limit they were doing on chapter one, which is clearly gone.
Yes, the downside is that each chapter feels incredibly long now.
Yeah. But at the very least, when we get a chapter like 2-3, which is just non-stop exposition,
Mhm.
the exposition's exposition. The meeting is more exposition. It is just exposition broken up with occasionally someone going, "AG, you dumb motherfucker." That
I
that
mean,
is,
as much as I appreciate AG being told that he's a dumb motherfucker,
yeah.
it's
It's
it
meant.
wears on. It also it's also the very much it feels like the story is trying to drill that in your head, like it's telling you that AG's an idiot
Well, here's the
without
problem.
like letting you figure that out
So
for
here's the.
yourself.
I think here's why that also doesn't work. It wants us to go, "Oh, he's some dumb kid," because then when at the end of chapter two, the end of chapter three, we find out he's the chosen one, then we're supposed to go, "Oh, he just didn't understand yet."
Yeah, it doesn't frame that well at all.
It
Like
does.
there's
It doesn't. But that
how do you
feels
read
like what
how do
they're
you
doing, though.
yeah,
Is what I'm
how do
saying.
you it's like that's what they're trying to do. It's clearly what they're trying to
Like
do,
he's
but it's
not
like
Neo. We're
how do
sorry.
you get through 2, 3 and actually are cheering for AG at this point? It's really
Here's the thing.
difficult.
Minus him occasionally saying something stupid and being laughed at, I can't remember if he did anything in 2-3. To be quite honest.
I don't think he did anything
Um,
in 2, 3. I'm not sure he did all that
just
much in 2, 4.
He kind of talked, and we got like useful information from Marvin because of dumb shit AG says. But even
Yeah.
then, we can only compliment him not as a character, but as the person who is in the training segment at the beginning of a video game, who your character walks up to and he says something, and you go, "Oh, I'm supposed to do this."
AG is too good of an audience surrogate character. He's giving us too his stupidity is giving us too much information.
Yeah, which is an odd thing to think of.
It's a weird thing to complain about,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Yeah. And
woohoo.
then they did previews of the Ryudomon and Doraemon dim. It feels very strange to get another Ryudomon dim. So this feels like bad planning, to be honest. The more I think about it, because we only got the
Well,
Ryudomon
it
dim
packed with
like a
it
year ago,
together, so
but that was packed with another one also.
it's basically just the
In fa-
bonus
in fact,
slice.
in fact, both of them are at the point where Ryudomon doesn't do much, and so it's Ryudomon. And the other character didn't really do all that much interesting either. Doraemon stood there and was the hoodie man, and
Mhm.
Espimon stood there and was Espimon. And then Ryudomon's there also.
Yeah,
And
they're really
then
having
so here's where, like, I don't know to be if I should be interested or confused. They put up a half-hour preview video from Bandai Mania of the new dim cards.
you should be concerned.
And then they announced that on July 21st, on the Digimon Partners YouTube, they're going to put up a 30-minute video that goes over the Seekers dim cards before pre-orders close, along with some recent card game stuff. It's like, but Bandai Mania just put up a 26-minute video going over the new dims.
Maybe they're just slowly rotating the little plastic band
I
the
don't know.
entire time.
She's got a new hat.
But also, like, they so often now for the promo videos have them sub. This one, they're like, the video is going to be Japanese only. It's like, okay, you haven't put it up for us to pre-order anyways in the US, so okay. It.
Mm.
I'm trying to decide if they would. if at this point they would dare tease anything else in there, when theoretically the entire point of this video is basically to promote something that the pre-orders are going to close a few days later.
Not really.
I don't know. It's hard to gauge. And then let's go talk about the positive thing, Dreamers.
Yeah, something good.
Yay!
Dreamers is like the great start to the week.
It's such a breath of fresh air.
But not only that, there's always been the thing that you see people going, well, how good is Tenny Yabuno actually at writing? Because he didn't write V-Tamers. He helped do the story and he did the art, but he was not the writer. And here it's like, holy shit, he's only getting 9 or 10 pages a chapter, and he just makes that fucking work. That should not, like, structurally, it should not work.
Dreamers is like the exact opposite. There's almost, I mean, what we're at so far, there's almost no story in Dreamers, but it's so damn charming
It's
that
so,
we love it.
But no, here's the thing. There
It's
is story,
Yeah.
because what it is we get the story because characters are telling us stuff about their daily lives, which we go, okay, so this is how the town works. And we know the town doesn't work right. Therefore, we already, in our heads, have an idea of the story. Even
Yeah,
though
it's-
the comic itself has not stopped to go, we're going to have to go and do X. They've told us by having the characters just live their lives.
It's still really thin, but it's still, even at this early point,
It comes
before
across
they,
very organically.
Yes.
yeah,
It-
before
it-
they do anything, before they've done, like, they haven't done anything interesting yet, and it's still fun to read.
It is dense with joy, is the way I want to put it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we are getting I think minus the first chapter, they've all been 9 pages.
Something like that, yeah.
Those 9 pages are shockingly enjoyable, to the degree that it is almost the same enjoyment you would get from a good 25-minute comedy TV show.
They are an absolute fucking delight.
Yeah.
I mean, and even just the way they portray the main characters, like, you look at how they just treat Eiji like he's just this idiotic butt monkey, and Ritsu, who
And Pulsemon is that
has a
idiotic butt
character.
monkey. But
Yeah, totally.
but
Totally.
because he has
Ritsu,
like, we know his hopes and
He's
dreams.
earnest.
Yeah.
he is, and a freak.
Yeah. Or like
Yes.
or like multiple chapters have Tanamon around, and like the characters do interesting stuff, and it just
Just the
works.
gags they've got, like,
It just
it's
works. It just works so well.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ritsu. Like,
Yeah.
he's just he has just such an innocent personality. Like, but he still snaps at them, and he still gets upset at things. Like, it's nice. It's refreshing.
Yeah. It is.
Then he gets dragged into a volcano.
It is a great.
Yeah.
It is a great start to the beginning of the week, just to get it like at the end of a Sunday. Like, for me, it's basically early night, but for a lot of people, like, it's going to be right around when they're going to sleep. That is a great way to end the weekend, I think, honestly.
I
It is
should
just-
really do that. I really need to keep up with Dreamers and not try to read 2 chapters of Dreamers and 2 sessions of Seekers right before the podcast. That's a lot.
Yeah. And of course, let's all appreciate Whack Donald's.
Yes, and the fact that Ritsu got pulled to the digital world in the middle of his Whack Donald's order, that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I'm very much enjoying it. And all credit is credit due. The localization has stayed at an extremely high, not perfect. There's small little things, but by and large, it is very hard to complain about the treatment of Dreamers.
I mean, not everyone can be as good as me.
My only hope is we do get some sort of actual collection we can buy. Something to buy and say, we want more of stuff like this. Give me...
Yeah, I mean, the Pokemon gets the little tiny compilations at
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so...
Like, when this is done, give us a collection. Preferably physical, but even just digital. Some way to go, we want more of this. I still like the English logo. I just would want one change. Move the digital monsters up higher. It's a bit too low on the logo.
Oh, it is a little too low, yeah.
If you move that up a bit,
barely acknowledge it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very happy with Dreamers. It's enjoyable. Pulsemon is Pulsemon. God, think about how many times like they've used Pulsemon and stuff, and how in a few pages this one's just significantly better than every other Pulsemon.
Yep.
I mean, comparing it to Seekers Pulsemon, that's not
Well, Seekers,
at
but
all a
like
fair
they did
comparison.
multiple promo videos with Pulsemon in it, and it's not like they
Yeah.
ever gave him a personality.
No. Well,
Yeah.
that's just
It's like, this is your yellow hedgehog.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But also, can we all just appreciate the perfect shape of Patamon?
Yeah,
Well,
that.
yes.
To be fair,
Tenya Yabuno Patamon is hard to beat.
to be fair, most of his shapes are pretty great for basically every Digimon. Like,
right, but Patamon.
oh
come
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
where it's literally flying potato.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
All
wait,
hail the flying potato.
well, not always flying. Sometimes it's also just sitting on Ritsu's head. And then we have anniversaries. So 13th anniversary of Cross Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like,
Sure.
yeah, like it's weird because Cross Wars still kind of feels like the weird little brother of the franchise.
That's right. Today's Marine Day, so it's like this feels like it should be Cross Wars Day.
Yeah.
Like I think Cross Wars fans need to own Marine Day a little bit more.
Uh,
Well, because July 1st is Atmon Day, August 1st is Adventure Day. It just come on, Cross
every
Wars.
day is Cross Wars Day.
No, it's not.
And then it was the 23rd anniversary of Hurricane Touchdown, and the 17th anniversary of the Savers 3D ride film thing.
Which soon to be streamed at Otakon.
That's not fucking happening. You can keep telling me that you jokingly want that to be it, AR. What do you think's happening? Do you think we're bringing in the ride thing from the what was the thing called, the Machine of Dreams in Japan from Sanrio?
Oh, are you? I was just expecting you to stream it. That's even better. You really going all out for this.
And then yeah, Hurricane Touchdown's 23 years old. And I keep forgetting to put it in the pot, so I'm gonna do it right now. Someone sends in a question, I keep forgetting to insert it. They want to know, because me and AR have not explained how, if Wallace is in stuff, it's not in continuity because we keep saying it. I will say what I think the answer is. AR may have a different answer. The answer is functionally the same as used in Star Trek and Star Wars. It appearing now does not mean that everything happened.
Correct.
It's sort of like how.
No, that's what I go with.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's very easy for me to go, I love my Star Trek. Most people know this.
If you, oh,
So,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you've read my fanfics, you'll notice that in the first book of my last stories, the last thing I did, it was explicitly mentioned that Hurricane Touchdown was not canon. In the second book, Wallace appears.
Okay, so I will give both a Star Trek and a Star Wars example of this.
I think we covered it well, but go ahead.
Nah, I want to anyways, just because they're good examples and one's about to happen. In Star Trek, in the books, they gave Riker his own ship called the Titan. A fan designed the ship and everything. Everyone liked it. And then when Star Trek came back, Riker has that ship, the same design and everything. But it doesn't mean all those adventures in the books happened. It means they're going,
right.
We don't care. We know you guys like the ship. We're going to do it. Or, as is happening now with Star Wars, Thrawn was a very popular character in Star Wars books. All that got wiped out, and then Thrawn appeared in cartoon, and now he's going to be in a live-action show. And they're going to insert as much as they can, but all those books did not happen. They just have decided to transplant that guy.
Like, just enjoy the things for what they are.
And that being said, we're getting a new movie. They could easily go, hey, Wallace, remember the time that you and Terriermon had to travel to Colorado and we drove around like idiots? And then
Wallace and Rui are besties.
And then
maybe Rui is Wallace's girlfriend from New York.
And then remember when he kidnapped Tai Chi and the gang, and we only said one line about that plot at the end, and everyone just pretends that worked. And also Patamon and Tailmon.
The edibles.
And also Patamon and Tailmon were just missing from that scene.
You joke about the edibles that does take place in Colorado.
To be fair, that might
Exactly.
make the movie better. And also,
yeah,
just
I don't use myself, but it would definitely make that movie better.
also just to point out, since that anniversary, people like trying to defend the movie, like, oh, the dub ruined it. The dub cut out half of it. No, the dub made it better. The dub made it better.
Out, yeah, cutting out half of it made the movie better.
Yeah, let's not pretend that if you sit there for what is it like it's 65 minutes, I think.
It's an incomprehensible mess anyway, but at least in the dub you'll get out
you
faster.
can argue it's artsy, but that does not make it good.
Yeah.
I just like bunnies.
It's very pretty at times, and it's a solid portrayal of Daisuke, but
yes,
as a whole, it's an incomprehensible mess.
And then for one more anniversary, the Adventures Battle had its 22nd anniversary. I still need to do an article for that at some point. Anytime an anniversary for it comes up, I'm like, I'm tired of anniversary stuff. I don't remember the movie well enough to write anything, so I just do a tweet.
It's scenery porn.
Basically,
Okinawan scenery porn. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I want the goddamn food.
And then, hey, look, Discotek's going to be at Otakon. Who could have seen this coming?
I'm going to be zipping past it on the metro.
Yeah. So
Saturday evening.
Discotek's I'll be just lurking around, hopefully.
Yeah, so Discotek's panel is 12:45 at panel room 2 on Saturday. And then at 2:15 at video room 3, which I think is like across the hall, there's a event called Discotek Secret Digimon Screening Event, which I wrote the description for.
I did not read the description.
There's nothing of actual substance for clues, even though people are trying to read into it.
It's 20XX. That means it's going to be related to Ghost Game.
I don't know if I wrote that part, to be honest.
I don't know if is that a standard Otakon thing that they try
I don't know. I think Justin or Brady might have put that in after I wrote the description. I don't remember. But yeah, people are like, well, Mark wrote this and it says this, so that may be a clue because Mark writes all the clues for Otakon. I'm like, there's no clues. I give you my word. There's nothing here that is actually a clue or of substance. Even the stuff that seems like it might be a clue is just like, oh, it's the 25th anniversary of the anime next year. I'll say it's nearly 25 years. There's no.
But also, this is going in a guidebook. It's made to make people want to go to this panel.
It is.
You have a character limit.
Yes. Anyone tried to think if I've hidden in clues? I did not. It was 5 minutes, and it is 3 hours long, which people are also misinterpreting. It means it's scheduled for 3 hours. It does not mean it is going to be a 3-hour screening.
Like you have that room for up to 3 hours.
Yeah. So
and it may contain some segments dealing with mild sexual imagery and or violence.
I mean, that's pretty much Digimon.
Kinky.
Is it though?
But here's the thing: mild sexual imagery is very mild.
It could of Lady. So you're saying Lady Devimon's in it? Okay.
Any number of characters could fit into that specific description. Although people are trying to take that description to mean it could mean they're announcing X or Y. I guarantee you it is not that detailed for any of it.
It's a live narration of the English translation of Seekers.
Yes, it's going to be a recording of me just reading Seekers and doing the Wario voice. And not very well. But yeah,
I would love to have a Seekers with the live cast portrayed by Mario characters. Just us doing bad impersonations of Wario characters.
Since AG hasn't said, okay, wait, AG has not been said anything interesting yet, so he should be Yoshi.
Oh, I was gonna say Waluigi, but yeah.
But yeah, if you're going to be at Otakon, get there. Very, very much so. We'll have things to discuss in the next episode. Now, I don't know if Dev's actually going to that event because, as I recall, when the schedule first went up, she messaged me and went, "Oh, great! The panel ends at 2. It means I can get over to the was it the AMV
Masquerade
event? The Masquerade." And I was just like,
Oh, you're going to the if you're going to
because,
Masquerade, yeah, we won't be able to connect.
well, no, I think the Masquerade was gonna be like right when the actual Digimon thing is happening.
It's usually later at
Yeah.
night, but you have to get in line for
Usually
it
around like
pretty early.
5 or 6-ish.
Yeah, that's
Good,
when I'll
good,
be
Well, I
zipping.
remember when it used
That's
to be
when
an
I'll be.
entirely different building,
good
so
luck,
it's not
Yeah,
like
good luck to Dev in figuring out what
yeah,
she's going to do.
and it'll be about like 5:45 when I'm zipping past the convention center on the metro on my way to the soccer thing.
You'll hear someone screaming in pain from a cat attacking them, and you'll go, "Hey, I did get to hear Dev."
yes.
But
That's
yeah,
a very vicious
Except the
cosplayer.
cat's probably going to be a rabid fursuiter.
Yeah, it's a
for
fursuit.
anyone going to Otakon, make sure you get to it.
If it
And,
wasn't going to be like 10,000
As
degrees,
Steph and
I
I
would
both
probably
can
cosplay Gabumon. But
as Steph and I both confirm that we'll be in the area and will not be going to it.
which is great. And of course, the best part is uh, you will not be around that Monday, AR, so we'll probably do the show like Tuesday.
I can't do Tuesday either. We have tickets to 6.
Okay, we may do Sunday then.
I might be able to do Sunday if my hotel's Wi-Fi holds up.
Yeah, it may be Sunday.
Okay.
I
We can
won't be
bet.
doing Otakon Sunday because I did not get that time off. So I will be available. I may be dead, but I
Hooray.
will be available.
I'll bring something to record remotely.
Yeah. So good luck to anyone getting in, because
Smuggle my
that
onto
video room
Zoom.
is not big. I looked at it, I'm like, okay. And
Uh,
then
To be fair, I looked at the schedule and there's lots of other very fun things
yeah,
going on at about the same
it
time. So
yeah.
at
don't
this
even
at
expect
this
me to stay the entire time.
at this point in an anime convention that still has a video screening room is impressive.
Oh, it has like 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, that's a old mainstays trying
Yeah.
to keep those around because those are dying fast. Because some companies that will remain nameless don't do a streaming license. Don't do streaming licenses to conventions.
Ew. And then this was exciting because this popped up out of nowhere. In fact, we mocked how bad this was when we first saw it. The Memory Illustration Project. The last time we saw this, they showed us those stands to choose from and nothing else. We're like, the art better be good because the stands I'm not sure how I feel about. And holy shit, someone heard that and went, well, fuck you guys, fuck you.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So, and I should point out, they posted this like at 2 a.m. right around when I was getting ready to go to sleep. And I was just like, motherfuckers. It's like, fine, I have to step into this. So,
Lol, here's some quality.
to start with, we get 5 new pieces of art by 5 different well-known Digimon artists. So we start with Kenji Watanabe, who does one based on V-Pet, specifically the Pendulum. And he points out these are not characters he normally draws, so it was a bit different for him. So that art is great. Then, as Maria to pick art based on Digimon games. And I like how in the little comments and everything it's pointed out, it was already decided that Mugen Dramon had to be part of it because who else are you going to pick for games?
Ass.
Yeah. And then
someone who's not a devotee of Nation X.
Yeah. And then one of the staff members was like, if As Maria draws it, it should probably be a battle scene, which it is. And again, great. Then Takase from from the card game draws the card game team one. This is such a great image.
It's very cute.
I love everything about it and in it.
Do you notice the mother has a little like nervous sweat tear while playing the game?
She's about to get wild draw forward.
Yeah. Then So Moriyama, who's done Digimon art from the earliest stage of the franchise and does all the social art they post, did memories of Digimon offline meetups, and it shows them not only meeting up to do karaoke, singing Butterfly, but we also get to see Edamon and Pumpmon and Gatsumon.
I didn't notice until now that they were singing Butterfly.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You can see on the TV it has
on
Greymon.
the TV, it's the opening, yeah.
Yeah. And you can see someone else arriving with the drinks.
And they're going like, what the fuck is going on in here?
And the fun part is this is the one that people are noticing the least. He hid the Digimon Partners logo on the bag. If you look next to the right of Pumpmon's head.
Yeah.
And then Katsuyoshi Nakatsu, who did the designs for the early Digimon animes, did one based on memories of Digimon anime. And it's great him pointing out, like, the franchise has battles, but it's not like the show doesn't sit there and, show realistic battles or things where the battles themselves would be memorable. It's that they're dynamic and that they're fun. So trying to replicate that in art, especially in a battle where actually nothing happened. Because that opening battle, there isn't really a battle, even though it's
They
most of
kind
the
of just
episode.
run away.
Yeah.
Just staring at each other and then
So
running.
representing that, and that is it. The one weird thing is when we see his actual style, and he's not trying to emulate his own style, his old style. It's so different than, and like, yeah, it's been 25 years. His art's going to be very different. It's weird to look at it and it not look how you would expect it to, if that makes sense. And
They should
those,
do They should have him design like another series, but with this his updated style instead of trying to mimic the old times.
well,
That'd be fun for
that
a
kind of
sequel.
happened with the movie,
Yeah,
because that
kinda.
really isn't his old style anymore. And he even said
Yeah.
at one point that he had started doing the designs with his old style, and they said he didn't have to. They were looking for it to kind of be an evolution of his own art and what Try had defined with the, more realistic proportions
I guess it still seems like a mishmash of all
a
those
bit.
factors.
It is, so you're not wrong, but it's just very odd. And then, so they announced the products, which should be going on sale actually about right now. Or with my luck, it will actually be at 2 a.m. this morning. So the products are an acrylic photo. This is what we were mocking last time because they wouldn't tell us what would go in it. And it's like, oh, this is neat. And the whole product is actually really neat. So it's 6,600 yen. It is a combination calendar picture frame. So the pictures are the 5 pieces of art, and you get cards that go on the right side. And on the left, you get calendar cards featuring each of the anime. But they've done something very interesting and special, I think. Because they start the rotation at August and are very careful, you get everything in order of release date, but various things hit special dates. So, for example, August 1st has the little DigiFes on it, and that's for adventure, and that's when it starts.
Cute.
And
Mm-hmm.
the month number is done in the font of the show title for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you go through September's O2, October's Tamers, November's Frontier. X Evolution is December, Savers is January. And here's where lining that stuff up was great. Toei, regardless of production, season, and everything, Toei considers Crosswords and Hunters the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So both get a February card, but Hunters gets the leap year.
Yeah,
And
that's clever.
because they're not defined by weeks, the calendars actually they don't ever not work. You
Right.
just have
Ah,
you just have to change out the crosswords one each year.
Yeah.
And that's where you get some of the weird Easter. For example, there's 2 crosswords card and it's February, so it has the number 2.
It's like they're leaping through time.
Try is March, so it gets the little 3 there, which is very strange to see considering it's not Digimon Adventure 3 by name. Atmon is in April. Kazuna is in May. 2020 is June. And Ghost Game is July. And
It's weird to see some of these fonts with just numbers on them.
yeah, it's like that's why I brought up with Try, because we're so used to it being written out. And
Like
we've seen
the try one doesn't isn't as jarring to me as like the Ghost Game or the Frontier ones.
the Ghost Game one is jarring because it doesn't feel like the written number would be.
Right.
Like if you look at 2020, you look at the 6, you go, okay,
Yeah, no,
that
that makes
makes
perfect sense.
yeah. If I look at the number for the Ghost Game, they want it to match the logo, but that doesn't feel like how they would have done a number if they had to like put number 7.
Well,
Meanwhile,
I
yeah,
think
like it feels like it should be
I
more curved, sort of, or like.
well, it's the lower caps, the HOSTAME. It's kind of mimicking those a little bit, but also those have a heavy white outline, and here it's just on white, so it's
Yeah.
not going to have that
I
outline
will
shining
say
through.
the
It,
one
it it makes it makes sense, but you got to think about it for
the
a
one that
second.
I think works the least visually is Frontier. Because if you look at
Yeah,
the 11, it has like the angles, which is the problem
yeah.
is the whole thing is angled in a different way. So angling it vertically like that, like on one
hmm
pivot, it feels very strange and not quite right.
The other one that throws me off a little bit when I think about it is the 02
Yes,
because
because the 9,
the 9 is based off of the Digimon Adventure part and not
yes,
the actual numbers.
yes. So it's weird. It almost looks like someone did an E wrong.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I love that the way they've put the calendar together. It's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
It
this is
represents
all. It's very nitpicky. This is
no,
awesome.
no, we're nitpicking it because it's so good. You want to nitpick the little things because that's all you can actually comment on. There is nothing wrong with any of this. Like having Cross Wars be February so you have both is brilliant. And not only that, it's not like they had to play around to have that line up. It just happened to line up by putting Adventure in August.
hmm
Like, and for those who order early, they will get a stand-in card, novelty card for the beginning that will fit in the slots.
Oh, cute.
I
Yeah.
would love to get this. It's a bold. It's a heavy. That's a lot to pay for import, but
Yeah, here's the thing. If this was $60 at Premium Bandai US, I would probably say fuck it. The problem is 6,600 yen right now is going to be about $45, I think.
yeah,
So $45, but then with intermediary fees, that $45 is going to be 80 or 90.
yeah.
That's too much. And the reason, and I do want it, and that's hilarious because we were mocking the shit out of this thing the last time we talked about it.
Well, but also the frame didn't look
No,
anything
exactly.
like Digimon
hmm
No,
whatsoever. It's
and
just
that
okay. Here's a
and what
clear
they've
plastic.
and no,
Sucks.
and that's what I mean though. We were mocking it because it made no sense. It didn't look good. It didn't look right. Seeing what the actual idea is now that they're not hiding anything. If this was not going to be $100 to import, I would get this.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not willing to pay 100. It's not worth $100 to me.
Yeah.
Then we get can magnets of the 5 new art and canvas art boards of the art. Here's the thing. I want that. I cannot imagine what those would be to ship overseas.
Oh, no kidding.
It's like I'm not even ordering one of them because it's going to be okay. 3,300 yen. That's going to be about $25, and that's going to be $60 to have them shipped. It's just not going to be worth it. But it's gorgeous. It honestly,
Do
they
you
put.
know anyone that's going to Japan anytime soon that we can bribe?
There's actually someone on the forum who's asking stuff because they're going to DigiFes. It feels mean to message them though. At least once, someone who's going to DigiFest asked me if they wanted them to grab me anything. It's like, oh great, I'll cover if you can buy this, this, and this. Poking someone out of nowhere, going, could you buy this, please?
If
Yeah.
you're listening to the podcast, hit us up.
But yeah, they honestly they did a great job with these, and you can't really mock it anymore. They did something honestly very special. Put it on Premium Bandai USA, and I'm pretty sure we would all buy at least the calendar stand thing. I actually think we would all buy it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then
Honestly, I really like the magnets. I would just put them all over my fridge.
Dev's gonna get a case of those blind packed and only get one.
More than likely.
And then we have some updates for DigiFes. First, they did their normal call for photos and illustrations, which they'll use for the countdown at the beginning. Although I think in the past they've said just photos. Now they're also saying illustrations and stuff. That ends right about now, so too late.
Oh well.
Probably. And then they put up the actual pre-orders for stuff. The Aloha shirt is still sold out. I do not think they're getting any more of that unless you're going to be at DigiFest. people saw that shirt and just went, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Because it's interesting and it
No,
looks
it is.
cool and it's not just
Although
it's fun.
although I will say, while it's a very basic thing, I think the pen light looks really good. Like, I know it's just like the basic cheapo pen light, but the way they did the D3 on it just looks really nice to me.
It's small, but it's fun.
Yeah. The muffler towel is a muffler. I like the design. It's the same design as the shirt. And then they did. This is where I'm glad they did it because you need to, but it's also just like the very basic of basic shirts. You get the logo up at the top left, and then on the back you get the art.
As neat
Yeah.
as that looks, I would not be able to wear that. Just like
The-
those giant panels of vinyl are just
So,
not comfortable.
but
yeah.
here's the thing: I have not checked because because what was it? Maybe 10 years ago they started doing more ink injected ones where there is no
Yeah, but then
vinyl.
that one's on black.
Oh yeah, that's true. That wouldn't really have worked. I've only seen
Yeah,
the.
Yep.
Actually, I think I've seen the black one once with injected. I think it was a Scott Pilgrim Pixel one. I think was not the vinyl stuff.
yeah. I just don't like the white poster on the black
Right?
shirt. It
You
just,
think? Yeah, it would have been. You know what they should have done? The rest of the shirt should have been the square ground design.
yeah,
That would have been good.
that
Yeah,
would have been a
and
vast
then
improvement. I would have even just taken a white shirt.
yeah, and then we have Attack of the Cards.
Well, this
So
isn't so bad.
no, it is. It isn't. But you have to remember, a lot of this showed up in like a 5-minute period. It's like, oh, I'm awake. This has all showed up. I have stuff to do, but I will go ahead and do this first. So first, we get our
It's not my
first
problem.
we get our first previews of Booster Set 15, Metal Garurumon X, Coronamon, Lunamon, Con and Seo, and Seiya and Co. And I wrote Con there, not Co. And Aquilamon.
I'm still not used to. I'm still weird seeing Dawn, Sayo, and Dusk go. It just
Yeah,
seems wrong to me.
yeah. Great art all around. Aquilamon, they show the new card effect that lets you bring the Digimon back to life. They further
Like,
tease.
fuck you, I live again.
They
I
further
lived, bitch.
for now. To be fair, Aquilamon doesn't look in that much danger there. It looks like it's yelling at poor Kiwimon.
Yeah, it's like I don't think it's scared of Kiwimon.
It showed up to a Starbucks screaming about where its coffee is.
You spelled my name wrong.
Aquilamon. How dare you say
Yeah.
Aquilamon's a Karen?
To
How
be
rude, Benji.
fair, if you think back to O2 and Hawkmon, that might fit a little bit.
Hawkmon maybe, Aquilamon no.
It's the same guy. So we also get the 4 Holy Beasts getting ace cards and Huanglongmon, which they previously teased. Then they showed off the cover for Booster Set 15 Exceed Apocalypse. They're using the matching Garurumon art that we had not seen to the Greymon art that was from Booster Set 14. They also revealed that the 5 more Digimon are getting ace cards. We get the perfects of the other 4 kids plus Vamdemon.
Sorry for your Wild Vonde.
Yeah, she's got the important. All 4 Dark Masters will be there. Yeah, Dev's gonna have to import some stuff. Then we knew LM1 Ghost Game was coming because they had teased it a few times that it was gonna be at events. For previews, they just tossed up everything all at once. So we get 20 new cards, including some ace cards, the ultimates from the anime get aces, plus 10 parallel cards. Great art. This all screams of, we drew this in case we need card or promotional art, and we didn't, so now we're doing a set.
Yep. Look, here it is.
And it's really good. It's really good anime style art is the other thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love the kitty.
there's some
Yeah.
great choices. I will say, looking at them, a few do not feel up to the standard for me. Like for example, Lamortmon looks a little goofy.
Yeah, his head looks
Yeah.
larger than usual.
Also, Espimon is rarely that cool looking.
I don't think he's cool
And
looking at all
also,
in that.
did
I
they
think the
like
angle is totally
also
wrong for
did
that.
someone like squish Ryudamon's face?
He looks uncomfortable.
Yes.
Oh yeah, jeez.
They
That's
gave
a
him a
bad angle.
they
That's
gave
just a
him
bad angle for
they gave him a
Udamon.
squishy face.
Well,
And
they also show the side of him that's the least interesting,
and Kiyoshiro looks way too pleased with himself.
as he does.
Yeah. Then we get to
Smug.
see
It's
the
like, oh yeah, there are times when he's a smug son of a bitch, even though he has no reason to be.
then we get to see the 2023 card case set. Very nice Lugamon case, I have to say. I really like that front sigil thing they've made. Plus some parallel cards. I don't. It is very weird to me that they have parallel cards of cards that only came out like a month or two ago in the set. It feels like it's too soon to be getting booster set 14 parallels as things you can buy.
I love the Vidramon with Impmon.
Yeah, that is an interesting duo that works well. And someone pointed out the background is Digimon World 2, one of them. I don't remember. It was one. Then we have. So originally, when they put these up, they were putting them up one at a time. So like, okay, I'll do one a day. Then they started like interleaving the previews with entirely different stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till they're all put up because I'm not like scheduling based on guessing when they're going up. The illustration competition 2023 cards. The art works great on all the cards. I feel like we will all stand by our note though that the War Greymon one desperately needs to be a foil card.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Like all the others will work
Just give
as
me a full-size poster of that one,
yes.
specifically.
Yeah.
I
But
will gold leaf that shit myself.
but yeah, they all look great. Then this was all part of their card game planning presentation where they also went through like, oh, there'll be one more chance to get the Madonhi cards. The card battle family members will play against people at the following events. They showed off, memory gauges for championship events, some parallel cards. They mentioned that yes, there will be some card game products that tie into O2 the beginning without saying anything else or showing us anything of relevance. It is literally just the poster. It's like, it's been decided to do some card game products. Yep. And then because English solicitation information goes up very oddly scheduled compared to Japanese. So we have started X17 information from the English side, even though we have nothing from the Japanese side. It is another advanced deck like Star Deck 15. It's called Double Typhoon, and it's themed after Terriermon and Lopmon.
Oh.
So,
Funny.
so because we're getting it in March, it's probably September or October for Japan. So a Terriermon and Lopmon deck is interesting. It's also very strange because they've gotten a lot of cards recently.
Yeah.
So it falls into that weird zone of I wonder what the booster deck after this one will be because often there's stuff like to help you play with that deck. So we will see. And
Bunny
It
apocalypse.
just back up your assertion that Wallace will be an active figure in the new movie. He's Rui's buddy.
what you talking about, Willis? And then at Gen Con, they will be giving away packs of promo cards to their various card games if you do a tutorial event or play in a tournament. And the Digimon card in that pack is a Vmon parallel card with new art of him sitting and eating ramen at the beach. That is a gorgeous card.
You know you're not from the
I wish
Midwest when
that were me.
you can tell you're not from the Midwest when you pronounce it GenCon, not
I
Gen
don't
Con.
care.
Like it's correct, like correctly pronounce it Gen Con.
I will say Genesis, but I will continue to say Gencon. But that is a very nice shot of the beach and him eating ramen.
Yes.
And
Now I
on
want to go
his
to Gen Con.
sixth bowl, if my count is correct.
Slurp it up.
Like, calm the fuck down, Naruto.
He missed out on Tanamon's meat, so
To be fair, Naruto might be swimming in the ocean. Just call for Goemon and we'll find out.
There you go.
And then Card Battle started a new event where they're doing a team match against the winning team of the DC1 team tournament. They have done 2 of the matches so far. It's interesting because they have nothing to preview, so the episodes are actually just matches, which also explains why you don't need Fun Digica anymore. Because sometimes they can just do the matches and move on. And then, if you do not have the Vital Bracelet BE, Premium Bandai USA finally is stocking stuff for you. They have the DigiVice VV with the Gamamon Dim. This does not have the bonus Imperial Dramon Dim. They have a set where you get both the 25th anniversary and Gamamon BEM memories for $40. I assume that will come in the sandwich baggie like the set that I got. It was a nice sandwich baggie, to be fair. I just find it hilarious that someone had to sit there and be like, this is a product, zip it up. This is a product, zip it up. And then they also have the 25th anniversary Vital Bracelet BE set, which is not available anymore in Japan. So if you want it, this is basically your last chance to get it, realistically. And it does come with the Kenshi Watanabe Shikishi.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it is time for a new poll. Pick your favorite perfect form from the leads of Savers. I'm going to go ahead and guess the order will be Rise Greymon, Mach Galgamon, and Lilimon.
Yeah, it's gonna be because of this one.
It's like,
Rise
I'm sorry,
Greymon.
Rise Greymon is just really fucking
Rise
cool.
Greymon
he
is
is.
actually like this one. Rise Greymon is the best.
Look, I personally love the design of not quite Metal Greymon.
Not quite Metal Greymon and not quite Lilymon.
And not quite Weregarumon.
Not quite Ojamon.
Or perhaps the better thing to say is we get not quite Metal Greymon, not quite Lilymon, and where's Garurumon? But yeah,
I was gonna say Mach Galgamon looks like a ripoff of Ojamon from Atmon, because Ojamon does the whole like pro wrestler thing too.
to be fair,
Even though
he predates him by a decade, I believe.
By like 10 years, but he still looks like a ripoff. It's weird.
It's
I don't know how to
weird because
describe it.
it's weird because when you think of those evolutions, you get blue, not quite Gabumon dog. Then you get blue, not quite Garurumon. And then if you go to the final form, you get Night Garurumon.
Yeah,
So
and
you,
I like Gaugamon more than the other ones, but I mock Gaugamon not quite for me.
The issue is it feels like we should get a not Weregarumon, and instead it kind of has a unique design that, because everything else kind of fits into this weird adventure vibe, it feels off.
It looks like a what if a pro wrestler was a furry with the Infinity Gauntlets?
Now, see, this is where you should have made a
Oh wait,
snapping
no, sorry,
noise.
no, it's
Snapping
not
noise.
sorry, it's not Infinity Gauntlets. They're 2 power gloves.
They're so bad.
It's so bad.
That's what you wanted. And then the final cup happened. Man, the final cup results were so boring. Lost only put one of them there, and I didn't even care enough to be like, no, put all 3. The results are the most boring things ever. For the Vital Bracelet BE, it's Fenrir for both Digimon for all 3 pairs. For the Vital Hero, it's Susanumon for the top 3 pairs, except for the tied pair 3, which is 1 Susanumon and one of everyone's favorite Sphinx. And then for the Vital Bracelet, it's Susanumon for all of them except the last slot, which is Crimson Mode.
Well, that's good. Thank God we got some variety in there.
Do you know what the most boring part is, honestly?
It's hard to pick one.
Do you have the actual images up?
Yes.
Okay. Vital Bracelet BE, second place, is also second place for the Vital Hero, is also first place for the Vital Bracelet.
Yeah.
And also, the winner of the Vital Hero is also third place for the Vital Bracelet. Half of these are the same people.
Just, I mean, congrats to Hyo for getting on the podium 3 times.
Yeah.
Like,
Although really kind of a scrub that you were able to do that, but you only got first place once, and it wasn't close the other times.
well, it's because you divide your attention to 3 different categories
But
instead of just
no, but see,
gunning
that's
for
the thing.
one.
He
Like,
could only win at the oldest one. You need to do better.
that's you gotta just gun for a single gold, like 10101011. Like that guy just aced it.
Yep. He just put random binary because he was too
Yeah, he
busy.
does.
He was too busy training. He didn't want to have to think of a name.
You ain't got no time for a name.
Although, joking aside, real credit for Hyo for getting on all three.
That's
In
that's amazing, honestly.
he's 1 or 2 in all of them. That is impressive, especially since it's a 1-day event or 1 or 2. How many days is it? It was like
I don't know.
1 or 2, I think.
Triple wielding.
I'm waiting for the day when I'm waiting for the day when somebody enters just with their online handle as Nagasumi. Wouldn't get on the podium, obviously, but
Yeah.
I want someone to do it.
And then from the upcoming Tamer Exchange meetings, we get to see that they're giving away memory gauges. Wormmon, we've seen this Wormmon and Vmon art before, but I like it, honestly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is very nice. And then, because it was Tanabata, they've used this art multiple times before. I don't know how many times, but they definitely have.
I
Great,
don't care.
great art though. I like the art.
Anything with Spotamon's a winner
And
for
then
me.
in China, there's a Toei pop-up shop at the Wuhan Tiandianfen. On the 8th floor atrium, they have a Toei pop-up shop, different Toei brands, statues show off. They have a huge panel of the adventure key art, like huge. I think that's about 10 feet tall.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That is huge.
And it looks like the Digimon products are like stuff that they filled in from the pop-up store. So in one photo, you can see a bunch of the Otadamas, including ones that I have not seen for a while. Like that one, I believe, is the Hikari Kazuna one. I like the puffy hair of the Koshiro one. Yeah.
I really like the Pokemon one.
I like how it's slightly sitting out of the wood. It's like take me home.
I want to take you home, but import fees.
Yes. And then the Toei Museum has announced for the next month they will have, a welcome stamp seal for Vmon. And on display next to the stamp area are stamps they used at the prior version of the Toei Animation Museum, because it was originally a different place, from when O2 was originally running.
Oh.
Yeah, so those are the original stamps from when it was running that they would stamp when people came. And the message even was like, yeah, if they don't look quite so nice anymore, please remember they're over 20 years old. And like you can see which one had the most use. That poor Vmon stamp. Like the order of popularity is Vmon, Tailmon, and then the other two, if you told me those were brand new, I would not know that was not true. Vmon, like you could tell Vmon was
Oh
popular.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Akamine Nioke.
No one likes Hawkmon, such a Karen.
Nioke Akamine put up a bunch of new art. So first we get a rough draft of what they call Beginning Night. Great art of the original adventure movie. Lots of little references in it, like Miko with the bowl.
Cat, yes.
It's just really nice. And then the finished versions of Sound of Light and Egg of Hope. We saw these a while ago, but we had not seen them colored. That is such
Yeah, just
amazing.
grayscale version.
That is
Oh, the color's
amazing
so
color
good.
work. Like just amazing work. And then it is time for questions. So you guys in chat can throw yours up. The first question from Diego: which Digidestin do we think would get divorced first? He chose Yoshino.
That's a good shout. Honestly, I'm torn between either. I mean, I think Izumi Orimoto is definitely on the list because
Takeru.
she seems like the type to rush into bad relationships. Takeru's a good shout. Honestly, most of the goggleheads seem prime candidates for early divorces.
Takeru's spouse would ask like, "Hey, can we do something about this giant collection of hats?
Oh, okay, wait,
We
wait.
have nowhere
Well, the
to
thing is,
store anything."
the problem with Takeru is I don't know if it gets to marriage.
Okay, wait.
I don't know if it ever gets to the point where he actually says "I do," which you need for divorce.
Do we count expanded universe Digidestined?
Of course.
The answer is Jun.
Oh, jeez.
Because remember
That does
that audio drama said she became a chosen child. That counts as expanded
yes,
universe.
that does
Yeah,
count.
but who would marry her?
I was like,
Look, someone's gonna
oh
make a
no,
bad decision.
someone would marry June for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't say it'd be a
possibly,
good decision, but
possibly Taichi.
oh, that would not.
Oh,
Maybe
it would
it's
be
for tax
disastrous, but
purposes.
it no Taichi and June would definitely get married. It would be a disaster, but you could picture it.
Well, would it be a disaster because of personality or because they have the same hair care products?
Yes. I mean, the hair care products would be just a cost savings, like they just buy in bulk together.
Bandai, why are you making stupid decisions? No, Bandai, stop. God, bad.
What do they do?
Speaking, yes, we're in the middle of a divorce category. It's like Bandai's getting divorced
Well,
first, right?
I misread a message in the chat, so I was like checking to make sure there wasn't like really important, relevant news, and there wasn't. I just misread what was said, and while scrolling, I'm like, oh, they put up something relevant in a different way, and it's like it's not huge enough that I have to write it up before mentioning it. I'm like, oh, they put up the Seekers dims and stuff at Premium Bandai USA, and I go check it, and it's just the Lugamon one. It's not the other one that's
Oh.
also being sold. Bad Bandai. Bad.
Only wolf for you.
Bad Bandai. But yeah, Yoshino is a good choice. It feels mean to pick Yoshino though for some reason.
My criticism against Yoshino is that implies that she will ever have a successful relationship in the first place.
You don't have to have a
You don't
successful
have to have a
relationship to get
sexual
married.
relationship.
Okay,
Yeah.
that implies that she'll have a relationship in the first place.
There's no response I can give that does not end up being too mean. That
I mean, it's like because you have to get to the point where you pull the trigger on it. That's one of my concern. Like, I don't think Yoshino gets to that point unless she's sure. My
maybe.
skepticism of her getting to that point is very high,
Okay.
but
Okay, here's a great question. Are you ready? Ramon wants to know what is the secret ingredient to the tandemon meat. I would like to believe it is a cypress leaf, personally.
ooh, that's a relevant shout.
I would like to believe that like there's actually a cypress tree that's used to help season it.
Oh, it's all in the rub. That's what it amounts to.
Although it's not really cooked, it's more grown and then they sort of just heat it up. So there could be
Yeah.
cypress mulch.
Yeah. Just lots of really earthy spices in there. Get some like cumin or something.
Then someone said summer's often movie season, so what movies are we thinking of watching or just other summer activities?
Oh God, I just watched Nimona last night. I can't
I
think of anything I'm
I
thinking about.
I
okay.
need to finish watching it.
I need to watch it.
It's so
I
good.
literally have like a stack movie list like to watch once I'm done with work in the next few days. The current list, which Nemona's on it, I also have. Where is it? Movies. Okay, the current stuff that I have like ready to go immediately. Paint. Do you know what Paint is?
Nope, never heard of
No.
it.
Okay. I'm going to read the description. Carl Nargel, Vermont's #1 public television painter, is convinced he has it all. A signature perm, custom van, and fans hanging on his every stroke until
Oh
a
no.
younger, better artist steals everything and everyone Carl loves. I should mention Carl is played by Owen Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, that's a concept for sure.
Yeah. Then I also have I bought it digitally when it was cheap because it's already gone cheap. Saint Seiya. I said I was gonna watch it. I am
Why?
because
No,
I,
don't support that.
Why do you hate yourself so much?
because technically speaking, I've worked on Saint Seiya, so I want to see it and then go. I didn't like the real Saint Seiya, which I worked on, and I don't like it.
Stop encouraging them.
Then Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Oh yeah, I need to see that sometime.
the Beast Wars movie.
I don't need to see that.
I need to see it.
I
Asteroid
want to
City.
see things blow up.
Asteroid City looks
Hmm.
interesting. And I still have not seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Okay, it was fucking amazing.
Everyone keeps telling me it's amazing, that I'd love it, and it's like, okay, I need to see it. Nemona's on the short list, and also on the short list, I've just been like waiting to see them when I have the time. Is the Superman show?
I've heard that's fun.
Yeah,
Like I'm
everything.
not
I did not know that one existed.
I'm not
My
one to gravitate
wait, Dev,
towards
have you
like
seen nothing of it at all?
I
Like,
think I've seen a single screenshot, but I didn't realize it was from a new show.
we prior to like a month ago before the show started, I think we've only had this. No, copy paste. Do not sit there and paste W. Why are you there? It was not copy pasting. We only had this image for like 2 years.
how can you not love that?
Yeah, I never saw that one.
It only started like a week ago, Dev. But yeah, that I definitely want to watch.
I might need to check. I'm not usually one for animated superhero shows, but
It looks
like
so fun. And
anything that puts a good spin on Superman.
No,
I'm
and that's the
for.
thing. Like the last decade has been terrible Superman spin after
Has
spin.
been. Yeah.
Like
Superman is so easy to get right and no one does it.
because everyone's sitting there like, well, I heard one kid say Superman isn't interesting, so we have to try to do it. No, just do it well. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
Like,
Superman's a really easy concept to get right, and people just miss it completely.
like here's the thing. In my head, Superman is still the Kurt Swan Superman. That is the exact Superman in my head. It's not that hard to make me happy. I don't care what the art looks like at all. I don't give a shit. Just write the character well. It's not hard.
Yeah. Superman is really easy to get right. Just please do it.
Just positive.
You just can't think cynically about it is the problem.
You can only do cynical in Superman if it works supremely well. Like do you remember the episode of the cartoon in the 90s where Superman's worried that someone saw him as Clark Kent crash into an ocean after like someone tried to kill him? So the entire episode is him going, he's going to have to like bury Clark Kent as an identity. He'll only be Superman. And then he realizes the person's blind. But the guy who tried to kill Clark Kent is on death row and he's trying to figure out how did Clark Kent survive. He can't. Mm-hmm. And then he's sitting in the electric chair. And you see his eyes go wide and he goes, he's Superman. And then the handle thing goes down and you hear electricity and the episode just ends. Mm-hmm. That is a cynical ending that is exactly Superman because it's
that's
fun.
A funny thing because that's one of the memes that I keep seeing like on Tumblr is people joking about a subplot about a Superman plot where people were like the CIA keeps trying to kill Clark Kent and they're confused as to why it never works.
Yes, that's based on that episode where someone tries to kill Clark Kent and succeeds, and then they mysteriously find Clark Kent alive, but the guy does not understand how it's possible, and he figures it out while he's sitting in the electric chair.
Yeah. It's
amazing. So yeah, that's my stuff for summer. Dev said Nimona. AR watch Nimona. So what else is on the list for you guys?
I don't do lists. I just see things as
AR is gonna see the Beast Wars movie.
I am not seeing the Beast Wars mooning, but both of you need to see Nimona. It is good.
The instant I'm
done,
done,
those things where
it's like 15 minutes of it, and then the dog had to get walked.
I've like the list of like, okay, I've been working nonstop for 3 weeks. Here's the stuff that is built up that I'm watching. Nimona is somewhere on the list. I don't know where, because the problem is my brain goes, well, Saint Seiya is going to be terrible. Maybe I should watch that first just to get it over with. Because when I say it's terrible, I want to be accurate in me saying it's terrible.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then
Dedication.
somebody asked, would we want Vemon to wear the Naruto headband while eating ramen? No, I would want
Yes.
Gomamon to.
Yeah, Gomamon's got to.
Gomamon is Naruto. You need to have Gomamon and Takuya both sitting there with the headband eating ramen. That is what I want.
There's got to be some other Naruto voice actors.
Wait. No, that wouldn't work.
Why not?
No, I was thinking of Vemon in the little Akatsuki coat.
Oh, that'd be cute.
No, see, I think Vemon, it'd be just like a detective duster, like a Columbo coat. Is that what he wore in that one short? Actually,
I say, wasn't he wearing that in the Pumpmon short?
he may, or was that Goblin? Or were they both wearing that? I don't care. It'd be a Columbo coat. Someone said, do you think having a web novel and manga running at the same time is equivalent for an active IP like Digimon as having a weekly anime? The answer is no.
It's like, does it count as being active IP?
Yes.
Is it the same thing? No.
It is.
No.
It is. There is no anime, so here's what we're doing.
Yeah,
And frankly, them moving Dreamers to it and then moving Seekers up today gives the feeling of, so Seekers is not actually working. We need something else. And frankly, they keep like bragging about like Seekers views on YouTube and Twitter, but those are also appearing as ads, which count for the views.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't care if the first Seekers trailer got 10 or 15, 20 million views. You paid for that to be an ad X number of times. There's no way to know what the real view count is for that, for us.
Yeah.
That view count means nothing because I think they count it if you make it past 6 seconds. I think it's 6, and you can only skip it after 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's a question of if you're asking as in active IP as a binary yes/no question,
Yes.
or if you're asking as
Is it,
terms of scale.
well, it does say as. See, the question isn't really clear. I read it as like, is it as important as? And the answer is no.
No.
If you're saying active, well, Digimon was active when Tri was over and we didn't have Kazuna. Like you just need stuff happening, and that is. I'm not saying Digimon's a forever brand now. Like it's always going to have something, but for the foreseeable future, yes, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
Then I didn't think about this until the question showed up. Why did so many Digimon fans seem to jump on social media when they announced the Gex collection? It felt like tons of Digimon fans just flipped out. So I didn't think about this until the question showed up, and yeah, that did happen. Then I started thinking about it's like when you think about when that game showed up and what it is, it actually makes sense.
The timetable lines up. Yeah.
Like the third game,
Nostalgia.
I think the second and third games were the most popular of the three. The third one was from '99, and it is functionally a pop culture junkie loudmouth jumping into digital worlds.
If you really enjoyed the Digimon dub as a kid, like all the in like 02 and stuff, Gex probably up your alley.
Yeah. I'm so fucking excited.
It tracks for me.
Yeah. Like I'm really looking forward to that. I've been waiting for ports of the later games. I would love if it's more than just the most basic ports possible.
Yeah, I'm sure some of those references are extremely dated now.
Well, I don't necessarily even mean the references. I mean stuff like, for example, the PS1 game had far more dialogue than the N64. They had an extra level in the N64 game and some updated textures.
You want them to smush.
Yeah.
Smushy.
But yeah, and then there's the weird shit our friends in the UK and Europe had to deal with Gex. Gex is a whole weird thing there. Are you aware of this, AR?
No, but I can guess. Go for it.
Okay. Gex in the UK came out like here, except after the first game, they decided Dana Gould was too American.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided so second game comes out, Gex has to have a different actor, Leslie Phillips. At this point, a 75-year-old actor.
Oh no.
Like nominated for awards like alongside Peter O'Toole. In fact, he was the Hat in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh god.
So Imagine him being Gex.
No.
Now,
No.
now here's the thing. They then went, okay, that didn't work. So for 3, they didn't get someone else. And when I say the name, if you know the name, you're going to go, oh, that's either perfect or terrible. And I have not heard the dialogue in 20 years. I don't remember. Are you ready for who it is?
I've never heard it.
Danny John Jules.
Oh,
I know. Cat.
that's
means
perfect.
nothing to me.
I'm gonna lean towards perfect on that
No,
one. It
it's
depends on the writing. It does depend on the writing.
yes, it
but
depends on the
yeah.
writing, but it's perfect casting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of the right. Like, if you just give him the U.S. lines and Britishize them, that's going to be terrible.
Yes.
But no
Yes.
one, but I could think of no one who could take over for Dana Gould but Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a good. I
that's
like
a
the
great
concept.
choice. That's
But
a great
you need to hear.
choice.
I need to hear it in action.
Uh,
Know what I'll be doing on YouTube after this.
this one, AR will have to answer because I don't remember if I played that far through. Is an average level of 30 for a Digimon Survive partner in Chapter 8 a good pace from Ian?
I haven't played Survive in so long.
You know what the problem is? Survive falls into the same vein for me as Final Fantasy 13. Looking at the previews, I was not feeling super positive. I was feeling like it's going to be okay, I think. Playing it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good, but it's kind of babying me too much. I played a bunch for X. Then the instant I put it down and had to do something else, I never returned to it.
Yeah, I still need to get 2 of the endings. Like, it's just a matter of because one of my save files, I wasn't able to get all 3 endings doing the last chapter where you get to pick, so I have to rewind a little bit, and it just sounds like a chore for me. Because once you beat the game with one ending, like the skill of the game doesn't really appeal to me at all. I just want to barrel through the endings. I have no idea what level I was at though, is the
Yeah.
thing. And it also
I think
also
40s ish for me.
well, it also depends on what like level you're like. Are you playing on easy, medium, or hard? 'Cause you can switch between them.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
easy, you don't have to work for it at all. Like easy just hands it to you.
Easy
Normal,
is basically, I'm only here for the plot. I don't know how to play video games.
correct. And normal
Or
is
or
normal.
or I've tried the tactical part of Survive and just don't want to deal with it anymore.
I was the tactical part of Survive. I mean, I beat the game with truthful. No, I beat the game with moral ending on and it was fine. Like there were parts that challenged me. I got through it. There were parts that I had some harrowing battles, but I got through it on normal just fine.
Okay.
Only a handful I had to take care of manually. Most of them you can just blow through on auto battle.
That's true also, Ian, is you can set auto battle and level yourself up until you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and also like there's almost always opportunities to grind if you
Yeah.
if you did your save game management right. You can always find places to grind up if you're getting overwhelmed in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it so much. You'll find a workaround,
Yeah,
no matter what happens.
that makes sense.
You have multiple workarounds. You can either go to easy or you can backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
There's always places to do that.
Last chance for questions in the chat. The last question to send in someone to know. Last wants or predictions for DigiFes.
No.
I forgot DigiFes was happening. I've been a little preoccupied with other stuff.
As have I.
And also,
I'm trying to think, like, because I don't know, like, the structure of it. I don't know what you announce when you have a movie coming out in 3 months.
yeah, there's nothing I can really. There's nothing that I want from DigiFest because
The
they
only
never. I don't. DigiFest like has never announced anything that I'm like really get excited for.
DigiFest is basically it will announce a handful of things of
Yeah.
different sizes, and stuff may show up in the wake of it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, this is a year when something is coming out.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
gonna take top billing no
yeah.
matter what.
And the problem is people get the expectation of, oh, it's going to be Digimon Announcement Day, which to some degree it is, but they're not going to do. It's the same thing
It's
as
not
Digimon.
as
It's Digimon Con, but bigger,
yeah,
basically. But this
and
time,
it's
here's what you should honestly expect. expect them to talk about the movie, and anything else is a bonus. And
Yeah,
in
like
this
they
case,
might have. I would not be surprised if they have another clip or something.
yeah,
Like that makes
no,
sense.
absolutely.
But
But like bonus this time will mean, for example, they will probably show the Super D3s again. We haven't seen those in a while.
yeah, yeah,
We,
that's the kind of stuff they roll out
yeah,
is like
we,
toy products
yeah,
and maybe a model kit or something.
yeah, we'll see that sort of thing. Um, it still feels like at some point soon, especially with a wave of re-releases, we need a new Blu-ray. It feels like something. I'm not saying a show, but like a
Steelbook,
re-release of
steelbook.
Kazuna. See, I don't know how popular steelbooks are in Japan for collectors. They seem to like, the big chipboard boxes with multiple things and booklets and everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I imported Shin Ultraman, the nice version of it. It's 4 discs. It has a book. It's in a big case, but like it doesn't have like the steelbook you would kind of expect in a American or European set. Um, and then the US disc of Shin Ultraman imploded on impact for everyone. And that company's fixing that now because, oh boy, did that not go well. You know something's bad when people get the disc early and like, oh, the disc is completely fucked. And before the release date, they're like, oh, we have replacements. They'll be here in a few days. And it's like, oh, you definitely knew what had happened.
Yeah.
It's fucked. The subtitles were completely broken. How broken were
Well,
they? Uh, how, have you guys seen any films from Anno before, or Evangelion, or anything like that?
I mean, I've seen Evangelion.
You know how he likes to use on-screen text, right?
Oh
Like
God, yes.
he does that in Ultraman too. They weren't subtitled, and also
Ah.
the subtitles were based on captions rather than subtitles.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also,
Ooh.
HTML formatting was accidentally in them.
Oh no.
So people got them and they were just fucking broken as shit.
Does the company have a QC at all?
Well, the suggestion, my understanding was it was listed on a page from an interview, and then that part vanished. Was the subtitles were used 1-1 what Shibuya sent them. I always say the name wrong. The company that owns Ultraman. That
Mm,
they were told 1-1 to use what was sent. And that was
I,
actually sent to the Canadian licensor also, and they've had theirs updated so they won't have this issue because their disc is later. And that paragraph is no longer in the interview.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh, you weren't supposed to say that, were you? You were just supposed to go, oh, there was something in the process, because there's ways something can break after quality control. I know this because
yeah.
I'm the person who looks at the subtitles for everything. It is possible for things to happen after. It's happened before. This is that seemingly because they were told to use them 1-1, they probably
Yeah.
didn't look.
It's listening a little, following the instructions a little too closely.
Yes. Um, in that case, I still would have watched them through. Now,
Yeah,
now here's the thing. I don't know their budget. I don't know their walking orders. I don't even know if they made the disc, or maybe the disc was provided to them by Japan already made, for all I know. So, yeah, but they have replacements and they're dealing with it. Yeah, so my watch predictions are, let's just, my watch predictions actually is not for the event. It's for fans. Be realistic. This is not
yeah.
the
Don't.
this is not the first rodeo. We know what to expect. Here's what we should expect. Stuff for the movie. If it's good, we will
Hmm.
get a clip or a new trailer. Maybe they will announce some pop-up events. We will see a
Yeah,
few products. If we're really lucky, we will get some sort of announcement of a music release, a home video release, something special. It does not mean it does not mean your hopes and dreams will be realized as they stop the event. Habu comes out glowing in gold. It's like, here's a new Digimon game that only has 5 Digimon in it.
have absolutely no
Yes.
expectations for announcing anything not movie related, and just take what you get.
Although I
Like
should
you'll probably get something,
although I
but
should point
good
out,
luck
isn't
guessing.
it kind of weird that the Discotek thing's the same day as DigiFes?
Oh, are you teasing something? I can't tell if you're being like cryptic or.
I Look, it's not like I'm the person who does the cryptic clues for Discotek for everyone, and am saying this purely out of the goodness of my heart and just fucking with people. And now they have to figure out if that actually was fucking with them or not. Because
Show up. So you're saying if we show up to Otakon for that 3-hour screening, we will see the new 02 movie 3 months
you're saying
before Japan
you're
does.
saying that I would never say such a thing. And the
And it
very
will,
the very
and
fact that I'm saying this with a twinge to my voice should tell you what the answer is to that. The very fact that I'm having this conversation, because AR and Dev know very well, I don't say shit about anything about my work unless it is really relevant.
also it will be dubbed.
It will all be Chris Sabat playing every character.
Oh, you would admit it. You'd love to see that.
Oh, I've told multiple people I would like to find something, a short OVA. I've told dub directors this, that if we could find a short OVA, have Chris Sabat dub everyone. That would be amazing.
I'm still liking your idea of Justin Savakis plays everybody in the tri-stage play, and that's what you're getting.
No, that was your idea. You're allowed to like the idea, but that was definitely your idea, not mine. Because
Have him redub the Angela Anaconda short.
Because here's
Justin in the Edamon suit.
Because here's what you have to remember. I would want the voices to be done by the people who least want to do voices. And I know how hard it was to get Brady to record for Ninja Robots, and Logan just said no when we were trying to do that.
I would have happily done that.
Brady kept trying to replace himself because he was the producer. And he kept trying to go, no, we'll get X to it. It's like, Brady, we need to do this now. There's no time left for you to replace. Now. But yeah, that is it for chat. But yes, basically, realistic expectations for everything. Your dreams will not come true.
I'm not even saying realistic. I'm saying if other than movie stuff, no expectations. Just don't expect anything and you'll get something as a surprise.
Yeah,
as a treat.
Basically that is the correct answer. Now, it's fine to get expectations up, but you also have to remember they aren't doing shit based on your expectations. So if they don't do it, it's sort of like when people get upset that their ship that never was anything visual, these characters never talk to each other, but I ship them, and then I'm
Taichi
canon. They have never met.
Taichi talked to June. Don't give me that.
I'm trying to think if they actually did.
I'm almost positive they did at some point. Although don't ask for what episode.
But yeah, basically realistic expectations for all and have fun with it, because that is the end result, is fun. And then that is it. AR, what have you been up to? What shall you be up to?
I've been working on KitsuneCon. Will be at KitsuneCon. I'm doing a Digimon panel with multiple Digimon voice actors whose last name are Fawn this Saturday. Tom, Dorothy, Melissa, all there. So.
Oh, yay. It's not secret anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not. We announced that actually a couple of months ago.
Okay,
that's in Green Bay, Wisconsin this weekend. I'll be doing that, and the week after I will be dancing around Otakon without actually going.
That truly is amazing. Like, you're gonna be there at the time, but you're going to be going around it.
I didn't even, when I booked the flights, I didn't even think about when it was, and like, oh yeah, Otakon. Well, because I still think Otakon's in Baltimore, because that was when I went to Otakon, it was in Baltimore, and it's like, oh yeah, it's in DC. The last time I
went to Otakon, it was in Baltimore.
That's the worst part, is that Dev's gonna be there, and if based on what I'm hearing from your plans for Otakon, there is no way for us to be able to meet up, unless you want to metro out to New Carrollton at like ass o'clock at night.
Yeah, fuck no. I'm probably already driving like to and from there, like from Philly.
If you're driving,
I've said it to a few people. I don't remember if I said it on the podcast. I think I did. Dev has threatened to make a With the Will hoodie and then just randomly hiss at people.
What I think we should do is like we should like.
I'll bite the Discotek staff.
We should like take a selfie outside the same like metro station just to prove we were in the same spot reasonably like within the span of a few hours.
To be fair, AR, you're going to be driving past the convention center.
Nope, not even driving. I will be taking the metro past it. I'll be taking the train past the subway.
Great. You can take a video clip out the window of it going, and
no,
there
I
goes
plan to,
Otakon.
because I'm pretty sure the station's name, the name of the station's convention center. So I'll take a picture of me in front of the convention center station. It's like although probably
You'll zip by as I'm
there will probably be
following
cosplayers at the
someone.
station.
And then
I'll
Dev,
take a selfie. I'll take a selfie with a cosplayer just randomly.
Yes.
and then you're gonna find out it was Dev in a full suit. And then Dev,
Yes.
what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
In honor of today's Seekers thing, it's Mugendramon.
Everyone's favorite video game character.
Actually,
Yes.
because he's surfing Nation Action, it'd be Mugendramon X Antibody.
Oh, even better.
In fact, they should have had a Mugendramon X there. Because you also have Doraemon, Ryudomon.
if they're not gonna bother to think of a name for the country.
Yeah, that's true.
Nation X.
And
That's
I
so
can be
lazy.
found at With the Will as always. And since it's the last time I can say, the only time I can really say it on the show before, get to Otakon if you can.
It's so damning that the fact that neither of them are gonna be at the thing. That's so awful.
Well, to be fair, I
man.
have real logistical reasons why I can't go. My dad was finally able
It's
to
on
have
the
his
other
shoulder
side of the
surgery.
fucking
Yeah, you're on the ass end of the.
Yeah.
I'm only halfway across the country. I'm flying.
You're going to be
Wisconsin.
You're going to be going past it. It's just
Yeah,
the best part.
that's the worst. It's the absolute silliest
Yeah.
thing.
So
because I'm in fucking Wisconsin right now.
So Dev will be there. I will not. AR will be in the vicinity watching the convention center pass by.
Not even that, I'll be underground.
Oh, that's even sadder.
I'll be passing the station that says convention centers. Like, if I get out and go up, I could the con.
Okay, we will catch you guys on some day. We are not sure which in about 2 weeks, but
it depends on the hotel. It depends on how good the wireless is at a Best Western outside Washington D.C.
Depends on a lot of stuff. AR may want to curse at me a bit, so we will see. Yep. We will catch you guys later. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.